Thomas Jefferson, born on April 13, 1743, in Shadwell, Virginia, emerged as a seminal figure in American history. Thank you for joining us at the History of, as we learn more about the architect of American ideals, Thomas Jefferson. Renowned for his intellectual vigor, political leadership, and contributions to the nation's foundational principles, Jefferson's life was a tapestry woven with threads of complexity, brilliance, and controversy. Early life and education. Jefferson was the third of 10 children born to Peter Jefferson, a successful planter and surveyor, and Jane Randolph Jefferson, a member of one of Virginia's most distinguished families. His privileged upbringing on the family estate in Shadwell provided him with access to a world of knowledge and opportunity. Jefferson's father died when he was 14, but he left a considerable estate, ensuring that his son could pursue an education. Jefferson's education began at a local school run by Reverend William Douglas, and he later studied under Reverend James Morey, who introduced him to classical languages and literature. At the age of 16, Jefferson enrolled at the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia. There, he immersed himself in classical studies, mathematics, and philosophy, studying under the guidance of Dr. William Small, who greatly influenced his intellectual development. Legal career and early political involvement. After graduating in 1762, Jefferson studied law under the tutelage of prominent attorney George Wythe. He was admitted to the Virginia bar in 1767 and embarked on a successful legal career. However, his interests soon turned to politics, driven by a growing unease with British colonial policies. In 1769, Jefferson began his political career as a member of the Virginia House of Burgesses. His first significant contribution came in 1774 with the drafting of A Summary View of the Rights of British America, a document that articulated colonial grievances and asserted that American colonists were entitled to the same rights as Englishmen. This work established Jefferson as a leading advocate for colonial rights and set the stage for his future role in the American Revolution. The Declaration of Independence. In 1775, as tensions between the colonies and Britain escalated into armed conflict, Jefferson was appointed to the Continental Congress. The following year, he was selected as part of a 5-member committee to draft the Declaration of Independence. Jefferson's eloquence and clarity of thought led to his being chosen as the primary author. Completed in just 17 days, the Declaration of Independence is a testament to Jefferson's philosophical beliefs and his commitment to individual liberty and self-governance. The document proclaimed the colony's separation from Britain and articulated the inherent rights of individuals to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Jefferson's words not only galvanized the American Revolution, but also resonated globally, influencing democratic movements worldwide. Governor of Virginia and Minister to France. After serving in the Continental Congress, Jefferson returned to Virginia, where he was elected governor in 1779. His tenure was marked by challenges, including British invasions and political opposition. Despite these difficulties, he managed to introduce significant reforms, including the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom, which laid the groundwork for the separation of church and state. In 1784, Jefferson was appointed as a diplomat to France, where he succeeded Benjamin Franklin as the U.S. minister. During his 5-year tenure in Paris, Jefferson observed the early stages of the French Revolution and formed relationships with European intellectuals and political leaders. His time in France broadened his perspective and deepened his commitment to Republican ideals. Secretary of State and Vice President. Upon his return to the United States, Jefferson was appointed as the first Secretary of State by President George Washington in 1790. In this role, he advocated for a foreign policy that favored France over Britain and promoted agricultural interests over industrialization. Jefferson's vision often clashed with that of Alexander Hamilton, the Secretary of the Treasury, leading to the formation of the first American political parties, Jefferson's Democratic Republicans and Hamilton's Federalists. In 1796, Jefferson ran for president but finished second to John Adams, becoming the vice president under the electoral system then in place. His tenure as vice president was marked by growing partisan tensions, particularly over the Alien and Sedition Acts, which Jefferson vehemently opposed. In response, he and James Madison drafted the Kentucky and Virginia resolutions, asserting the principle of states' rights and laying the groundwork for future debates over federalism. Presidency. Jefferson's election to the presidency in 1800, often referred to as the Revolution of 1800, marked a significant turning point in American politics. It was the first peaceful transfer of power between political parties in U.S. history. Jefferson's presidency was characterized by his efforts to reduce the size and scope of the federal government, cut in taxes, and decrease the national debt. One of Jefferson's most notable achievements as president was the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, which doubled the size of the United States. This acquisition, secured for $15 million from France, provided vast new territories for expansion and exploration. Jefferson commissioned the Lewis and Clark expedition to explore these new lands, leading to valuable scientific and geographic discoveries. Domestically, Jefferson's second term was marred by conflicts such as the Embargo Act of 1807, which aimed to protect American interests by prohibiting trade with Britain and France during the Napoleonic Wars. The act proved economically damaging and unpopular, leading to its repeal in 1809. Despite these challenges, Jefferson's presidency left an enduring legacy, emphasizing agrarianism, individual liberty, and a limited federal government, retirement, and later years. After leaving the presidency in 1809, Jefferson retired to Monticello, his beloved Virginia estate. He dedicated his later years to educational and architectural pursuits. One of his most significant contributions during this period was the founding of the University of Virginia in 1819. Jefferson designed the campus, planned the curriculum, and championed a secular educational institution free from religious influence. Jefferson's retirement was also marked by his extensive correspondence with fellow founding father John Adams. Their letters, rich with reflections on politics, philosophy, and personal experiences, are invaluable historical documents that provide insight into the minds of these two pivotal figures. Despite his achievements, Jefferson's legacy is complicated by his relationship with slavery. He owned more than 600 enslaved individuals throughout his lifetime and struggled to reconcile his professed ideals of liberty and equality with the institution of slavery. The revelations about his relationship with Sally Hemings, an enslaved woman at Monticello, have further complicated his historical reputation. Jefferson's architectural achievements, including Monticello and the University of Virginia, reflect his ingenuity and aesthetic vision. His commitment to education and knowledge continues to inspire, and his writings remain a touchstone for discussions on liberty and governance. In contemporary times, Jefferson's legacy is continually re-evaluated, acknowledging both his foundational role in American democracy and the moral complexities of his life. This nuanced understanding ensures that Jefferson remains a vital, if contentious, figure in the American historical landscape. His story is a reminder of the enduring struggle to align ideals with actions, a challenge that remains relevant in the ongoing quest for a more just and equitable society. Economic policy and philosophical contributions. Jefferson's economic philosophy was rooted in his vision of an agrarian republic. He believed that the strength of the American Republic lay in its yeoman farmers and the cultivation of the land. This vision contrasted sharply with the industrial and financial focus advocated by Alexander Hamilton. Jefferson feared that a large centralized banking system and an overemphasis on manufacturing would lead to corruption and the erosion of democratic values. As president, Jefferson worked to implement his economic vision by reducing the national debt and cutting federal taxes. He also sought to dismantle what he viewed as excessive federal bureaucracy. However, his idealistic views often clashed with practical governance, particularly as the young nation faced complex international trade and diplomatic challenges. Jefferson's contributions to political philosophy are profound. His belief in natural rights and the importance of education in a democracy have left a lasting imprint on American political thought. He argued that a well-informed citizenry was essential for the preservation of liberty, a conviction that underpinned his efforts to establish the University of Virginia. Jefferson and religion. Jefferson's views on religion were also influential and often controversial. He championed religious freedom and the separation of church and state, ideas that were revolutionary in his time. His Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom, enacted in 1786, declared that no man shall be compelled to frequent or support any religious worship place or ministry whatsoever, a principle that later influenced the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. Jefferson's personal beliefs were unorthodox. He was a deist who rejected traditional Christian doctrines such as the divinity of Jesus and the Trinity. His Jefferson Bible, a version of the New Testament that omitted miracles and supernatural events, reflects his rationalist approach to religion. Despite his personal skepticism, Jefferson defended the right of individuals to practice their faith freely and without government interference. Scientific and technological interests. Jefferson's interests extended beyond politics and philosophy to science and technology. He was an avid amateur scientist and inventor with a particular fascination for agriculture. Jefferson's innovations included an improved plow design and the introduction of various crops to American agriculture. His Monticello estate served as a laboratory for his agricultural experiments, where he tested new plant varieties and farming techniques. Jefferson was also deeply involved in the scientific community of his time. He corresponded with leading scientists and participated in the American Philosophical Society, an organization dedicated to promoting knowledge in the sciences and humanities. His advocacy for scientific inquiry and technological progress reflected his Enlightenment ideals and his belief in human reason and improvement. Architectural legacy. Jefferson's architectural legacy is another significant aspect of his life. Monticello, his home in Virginia, is a masterpiece of neoclassical architecture designed and constantly revised by Jefferson himself. The estate reflects his appreciation for classical forms and his innovative spirit. Monticello's design includes numerous inventions and conveniences, such as a revolving bookstand and a dumbwaiter for wine. The University of Virginia, founded by Jefferson, is considered his architectural and educational crowning achievement. The university's rotunda, inspired by the Pantheon in Rome, stands as a testament to Jefferson's vision of education and architecture. He designed the campus with an emphasis on open, collaborative spaces, reflecting his belief in the free exchange of ideas. Death and enduring influence. Thomas Jefferson died on July 4, 1826, the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. His death occurred just hours before that of John Adams, marking a poignant end to the lives of two of America's most influential founding fathers. Jefferson was buried at Monticello, and his epitaph, written by himself, highlighted his authorship of the Declaration of Independence, the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom, and his role in founding the University of Virginia. Jefferson's legacy is multifaceted. He is celebrated for his vision of a democratic society grounded in individual rights and limited government. His contributions to American political thought and institutions are profound, influencing generations of leaders and shaping the nation's democratic ethos. However, his life also embodies the contradictions of the early republic, particularly the coexistence of Enlightenment ideals and the realities of slavery. In contemporary times, Jefferson's legacy is continually re-evaluated, acknowledging both his foundational role in American democracy and the moral complexities of his life. This nuanced understanding ensures that Jefferson remains a vital, if contentious, figure in the American historical landscape. His story is a reminder of the enduring struggle to align ideals with actions, a challenge that remains relevant in the ongoing quest for a more just and equitable society. Jefferson's architectural achievements, including Monticello and the University of Virginia, reflect his ingenuity and aesthetic vision. His commitment to education and knowledge continues to inspire, and his writings remain a touchstone for discussions on liberty and governance. Jefferson's influence extends beyond his lifetime, as his ideas and contributions continue to be a source of inspiration and debate in the ongoing evolution of American society. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the life and legacy of Thomas Jefferson. We hope you found this exploration of one of America's founding fathers both informative and inspiring. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring you more in-depth biographies and fascinating historical insights.